I work at the intersection of chemistry, science in general, mining, and environmental sustainability. My research focuses on developing alternative technologies to process gold without the using of mercury or cyanide, which are highly toxic but also heavily used in the Amazon basin and other places around the world, unfortunately. We are also working on reprocessing mining residues, recovering value while restoring degraded ecosystems. I think that our final goal is to turn mining from a source of damage in the Amazon basin into an opportunity for environmental recovery and social improvement. There are a lot of challenges associated with artisanal mining, but in particularly, I think that one that is very important for us is the widespread use of toxic chemicals. Again, we use a lot of mercury, unfortunately, in the Amazon basin, a lot of cyanide in many places in artisanal and small-scale mining. It is worth mentioning that by itself, a chemical is not damaging the environment if it doesn't get to the environment. But unfortunately, artisanal practices often don't have sufficient tools to reprocess, recirculate, or capture the contaminants, and that's where the problem comes. So this becomes not only an environmental problem, but also a public health problem, as the mercury or the cyanide can be trapped in plants, in animals, and later continue in the food chain, right? And this affects communities, especially in the case of mercury. The problem goes even deeper because mining is not very efficient, so it leaves behind large amount of residues that are valuable materials, but are just piled up in some places, not necessarily with the greatest care. So we believe that the solution lies in combining better technologies, better processes to have a greener extraction of gold, to improve the efficiency of the process, and also new economic models that can incentivize the environmental restoration. So, for example, what we have been doing is to develop a series of processes free of mercury, free of cyanide, that are capable of extracting the gold that artisanal mining cannot do. And with these processes, what we are trying to do is to collect the residues from artisanal miners, to reprocess them, to extract the gold, and with the revenue, we attempt to start doing some reforestation also of the damaged areas, so that we can not only complete the cycle of mining, but also start restoring the natural environment. I think that the best inspiration that I have had all my life is the possibility of connecting science and technology with real-world challenges. We have been working for a long time at UTEC in Peru, developing solutions for mining companies, developing solutions for improving the quality of life of citizens in general. And I'm especially motivated by this type of work, like in context where environmental problems are affecting people's lives. So we have started with small projects, even trying to improve the quality of water in places where there's no running water in the suburbs in Lima, for example. And we have been going all the way through a chain of activities to improve the quality of effluents that are discharged by several companies, and later we focused in mining, both big mining companies and also artisanal mining companies, so that we can improve the quality of the environment and the quality of life for people. So I am very convinced that technology is a big driver for formalization of activities, for improving the economy, for making greener processes, and that this is part of what we are called to do as scientists in this century. I also enjoy making bridges between different worlds, right? Between academia, industry, communities. So I think that is the driving force that is helping me in proposing these schemes. That's a tough question to answer. I think that there's a lot of things that we can do as scientists, as citizens of this world. But I think that one of the best things that I can say is that we have to rethink the way we relate to natural resources and the way we relate to each other. I think that we have to realize, for example, in the case that we are covering now, the problem is not the extraction itself, right? So there's a lot of people that may say, oh, mining is bad or technology is bad, but we cannot do anything without technology. So thanks to the mineral resources is that we are having this conversation with somebody that may be in Moscow, somebody may be in Paris, somebody may be in Tokyo. And that is thanks to technology that comes from these materials that we are enjoying this life, right? The possibility of storing pictures of our kids, of our grandparents, the possibility of making so much connections depends on the technology. So the problem is not the technology, the problem is not extraction, the problem is the way we do it. I think that with the right technology, with the right knowledge, with the right intentions, it is possible to transform any activity, including mining, transportation, hydrocarbon resources, polymer extraction, etc., into activities that are more responsible and that are even regenerative, that we can complete schemes like related to circular economy, schemes like residue reprocessing that may help us build a better world without saying no to our advances. So I think that science gives us the tools. I think that what I like the most about chemistry, about science in general, about technology is that we have the tools, and what we need is to understand the way to apply them so that we can continue thriving in this world without damaging it completely. So I think that my call would be to everybody to do the little thing that they can do at home, in the laboratories, in a company, to start realizing that we have only one world and that we have to take care of this without renouncing, of course, to everything that we want, but finding this point halfway in which we don't destroy completely anything, but actually we enjoy life, but we also try to improve our world for the future generations.